Hi, everybody. Welcome back. We are on episode 24, and it is a full moon in Taurus tonight. Well, when we're recording, so you'll be watching this on Sunday. So the full moon will have just passed. But, if you've noticed that you felt a little bit heavy or you felt like, a little bit drawn out or just like tired or your mind was heavy or thinking it's the full moon. Full moons always do this to me, especially that it's in Taurus. And I'm a Taurus, so my sun sign's in Taurus. I'm feeling it. But it's like, I'm not feeling it like how I have in the past, like where I'm like super tired and groggy or a little like cranky. I'm not really feeling it like that. Like I do feel, I don't feel like completely down. I just feel like, a little like chill, like a little full moonish, we'll call it. But yeah, it's a full moon in Taurus, and they're saying like, it's a super moon as well. It's a powerful moon. It's like it's very close to the Earth this time. It's not always as close to the Earth as it is this one. So it's going to be beautiful. I hope you guys catch it tonight. So we're heading into I did a little goodbye ritual for my garden because next week I think next week will be our first frost. I've never had a garden, so I never understood the frost thing. But I'm hearing that the first frost means that they start to die. So, me and my little nephews, we did a little goodbye ceremony, which consisted of gratuity and feeling grateful and thanking them. And we made little signs. I said, write, something that you would, like to say to the garden. And then we made a little offering and we gave it to the garden. And they were so cute, my little guys. Oh my God, they were so sweet. I have the video of it. I'm going to figure out how to cut it up and post it because they were so cute. They love the garden and they're so into it the way that I'm into it. And they love flowers but at the same time, what's cool is that they're like little guys, like one of them's such like a little hockey boy and he loves his sports and they love wrestling and being rough and tough with each other. But at the same time, they love my flowers and they love the animals and the insects. So they're just very well-rounded kids, so I really appreciated doing that with them this week. So I'll put that video up somewhere. All right, so our shiny crystal today. So we are in, well, first, let's see. There's still one more thing I wanted to say. So I'm going to have next episode, I'm going to have a lot of new segments coming about. So I'm trying to figure out, there's going to be one that I think is really fun. It's called Oh Wise One. And I'll be answering spiritual questions because I've noticed like in my readings, sometimes people will ask me stuff just about spirit or just spiritual questions in general. So if you have any spiritual questions, just send me a message and I'll read it on the podcast and I'll answer it on the podcast. So that segment's going to be called Oh Wise One. And we will do questions, we'll answer spiritual questions. Any questions you have about spirit, about like karma, about manifesting, or anything woo-woo that you would love to get some insight on, message me on the Crusty Crystals podcast Instagram or just my Thomas Dale 5 Instagram. But yeah, get me a question and I'll read it on the podcast. I'm also going to do one that I just came up with, Jay, my producer. We were talking about it. I like this one where I'm going to just call a friend. It's like, what's that? Dial a friend when the millionaire, that game, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and you'd call a friend. I'm just going to call a friend. I'm going to call someone up and just kind of I either think I'll call them up and give them a reading, not necessarily like a mediumship reading, but more like of a psychic or intuitive reading. I'll just get hits about what I'm feeling might be going on with them. Obviously, I'm going to call a friend that I don't know what's going on at that moment. So I think it could be fun to see what hit I get, but it'll be more of a banter thing. So that I think could be pretty cool. So I'm just trying to think of different segments. If any of you have ideas for different segments, please reach out and let me know. I'm all ears. All right, so my shiny crystal of the week. My shiny crystal of the week is moms. Not necessarily like my mom or my sisters as moms or moms that I know, just moms in general, or being a mother. It's being a dad or a mom is super important, but today it's about moms. I would love to be a mom, to be honest with you. I think it's oh my God. And this also, if this isn't your experience or it's not something you want to do, then, you have a different opinion. But I wish I could be a mom. Oh my goodness. To be pregnant, to experience growing a baby in my body, that that 9 months of just bonding with that new life, like creating a freaking human being in my body is so incredible. I love it. Oh my goodness. Like, even just thinking about it, like, that's why I have to come back as a girl in my next life, because I really want to experience that. I love that so much. I just want to be a mom. I want to like nurture a kid. I want to like teach a kid. I just want to have that, you know, that experience of like raising something besides my dog and besides my flowers, you know? I don't know. I just think it's an incredible experience. I'm sure, you know, being a dad is really awesome, and you need the fathers so that you have the sperm, but like, I don't know. I just think like growing a child in your body and then birthing it and then like whenever I see videos of like, you know, the woman's having the baby and then she's holding the baby. Oh, that's like, what a moment that I'm never going to be able to experience. I envy that so much. I think that's so beautiful and so cool. Not to mention having that hot straight boy being all like cute and supportive, patting my head, you know, like just like holding my hand while I'm screaming and yelling. Oh my goodness. I love that. Just like get me pregnant. And then it's just like, you know, the whole like experience of just what it's like to have a mom, you know, and to like be a kid who, you know, like, okay, it's like this. Like there's houses that I grew up in that I miss like there's a connection to that house, and I will always think of that house, and the house is so special to me from my childhood, or apartments that I had that I just loved or I was connected to. So that's the difference between being a mom and a dad. When you're a mom, you're the house for that baby for 9 months. So like there's definitely more of a connection there because you were housed by that female body, by that person. You shared their blood. They gave you food. You know, you shared their food they were eating, all of it. Like you literally shared their body. So like, that's why I think it's such a different connection. It's not, you know, it's like no matter what you are as a dad, no matter how much, you know, the kid loves you. I love my dad. You love your dad, but like the mom is just, you're living in that body. That's your house for 9 months. So there's that connection. There's just that's, you know, it's just a little, I remember, you know, it's funny. What brought this up to me about the mom stuff was me and my dad were talking about one of our old houses that we lived in when I was younger. And I had visited that house maybe like last year. I was walking, you know, I love going back to look at old houses from my childhood. And I was looking at my window that I had when I was a kid. And I was just looking at that side window. And I said to my dad, oh my God, I remember when I was a kid, I was like about 8 years old, and I used to sit in that window in my bedroom, and I would put on the record, You Light Up My Life. If you've ever heard that song, You Light Up My Life. And I remember I used to sing it about my mom. I was like this little 8-year-old sitting in my window, and I used to literally like sing it about my mom. Like, so let me pull this up. It's so like, imagine, hold on. And I'm going to put this up. I mean, I can't play it because then YouTube won't let me post the video. So, right? YouTube won't let me post it if I play the song. Okay, so I'll just give you the lyrics. So maybe I'll sing it. Okay. I'll sing it. Okay. So, no, I'm just going to say it because I don't really remember the tune. It goes, so many nights I'd sit, now picture 8-year-old Thomas sitting in my window, thinking of my mom and singing this song. So many nights I'd sit by my window waiting for someone to sing me his song. So many dreams I kept deep inside me, alone in the dark, but now you've come along. And you light up my life. You give me hope to carry on. You light up my days and fill my nights. So, and I was thinking about my mom the whole time. Moms are great. So they're my shiny crystal. To all you moms, to anyone who is trying to be a mom and maybe having struggles or can't have kids, I empathize. I feel it. I not only empathize because I live it. I can't have my own children. So, you know, I get it. But if you can't do it and you're a woman, I feel for you. And I understand that feeling of like missing out on that. So I get it. But I give my love to my dog, my nephews, my nieces, my flowers. So that's how you can, maybe just give your love somewhere else. If you can't have children, I get it. Or you can adopt kids. I mean, especially as straight people, you could definitely adopt children. Apparently you can't adopt after 50. So you better hurry up if you want to have some kids. So adopting kids, shit. If I was able to adopt a kid, I always thought like I would have a daughter, But now that I'm hanging out with my little nephews, I've really vibed good with the boys too. So, because I always thought like I would get vibe better with the girls. I mean, my nieces as teenagers, like my nieces that are teenagers, we definitely like have more in common. Not more in common, I'm anything in common with teenage girl, but you know what I mean? Like it's just like gay uncle, teenage girls, we get it. Like the teenage boys, my older nephew, love him, but he's a little, he's like a little straight boy, So there's only so much that we're gonna like kiki on, as with the girls. So my little nephews, the little kids, we do all kid stuff, digging in the dirt, building little ant houses with the sticks. So I hope that when they become teenagers, we still have a little vibe going, because teenage boys, it's, they start doing their own thing, little jocks, little athletes, so hopefully they're still into Uncle Thomas the way they are now, but anyway, that's in 10, 12 years. So we'll worry about that then. Anyway, let's get to it. Sign me up. We are at the last zodiac sign for Sign Me Up. So this segment is not going to be here next time. So this is the last Sign Me Up, and we are at Pisces. So sign me up with a Pisces. So why would you want Pisces on your side in a crisis? Because they're fun. Oh my goodness, because they're just fun. Pisces are fun. Yeah, every Pisces friend I've ever had, they're just fun. They're always down for the adventure. They got a great imagination. So you definitely want them on your side in a crisis because I feel like they can uplift you. You know what I mean? I feel like they could give you a new attitude or enlighten you or bring the depth in a situation that might be hard. So I feel like to have them in a crisis on your side, they are rooting for you. They are, trying to keep you in a good mood. They also will like really vibe with you or get on the same level as you when it comes to like feeling, the darkness too. If you're like being negative or nasty, like they will jump right in there. Those Pisces, they will totally get negative with you. So it's good to have them with you in a crisis. How is Pisces unhinged in a relationship? Well, I think it's because sometimes they catastrophize and they get obsessive and they love deeply. So that is how they get unhinged, Pisces, in a relationship. They love way too deeply. Not too deeply, but they love very deep. So they get obsessive or they get too attached, very attached. And they live in like this catastrophic imagination sometimes. So they definitely can get very extra, I would say. So that's how they're unhinged in a relationship. The toxic trait for a Pisces. The toxic trait for a Pisces, the laziness. Sometimes it's hard for Pisces to really kick themselves in the butt to get going. Like they could have that lazy streak where they just kind of want to like lay around or they don't want to get motivated or they want to indulge in sweet treats and weed and alcohol. Pisces definitely get lost in that kind of energy. They love their escapism. Pisces live for it, They love it. So that's a toxic trait, I think. Well, actually, no, a toxic trait. That's not toxic. That's just not the best trait. A toxic trait in a relationship for a Pisces would be insecurity. No, that's not toxic, though. How is Pisces toxic in a relationship? I guess maybe they could be sneaky. Yes, that is toxic. Sneakiness. Pisces can be a little sneaky in relationships, whether it's a male Pisces being like shady where they're cheating or they're being manipulative, or it's a female Pisces where she's being manipulative or sneaky to get what she wants. That's how they could. Oh yeah, that's a toxic trait. They definitely can be a little sneaky. Pisces female and males, but in different ways. Pisces females, the way they're sneaky is like manipulation or like not being fully honest or like doing something to get what they want. Whereas Pisces males can be sneaky with like cheating or not being able to like control their emotions, or no, they're sneaky and maybe they have a drug problem or a drinking problem or a sex addiction. So they're a little sneaky that way. So that's how that's a toxic trait. So what is Pisces going to bring to my healing retreat? Let's see. Pisces will bring... Oh, yeah. Pisces are... Okay, it's a healing retreat. So I was going to say they'll bring cupcakes and sweets, but it's a healing retreat. So I feel like Pisces will bring to the healing retreat... I feel like they'll bring gummies, like weed gummies. I've said this before, I think, in the past, but I feel like they'll bring weed gummies. Yeah, that's what they would bring. 100% weed gummies. They love the escapism. They'll bring anything that has to do with escapism. All right. Let's move on to the movie Astrology. This is a good one. This is fun. I think this is a good one. Today's movie, we're doing Pretty Woman. Okay? Pretty Woman, and such a great movie, such a classic. The soundtrack is chef's kiss. The acting, it's just so funny how like some movies become comfort movies. Like you could leave it on in the background. Like for me, it's My Cousin Vinny. It's Pretty Woman. It's Golden Girls, obviously. Sister Act. Well, Sister Act is definitely is a comfort movie, but I can't put it on when I'm trying to sleep because of the music. I can't have music stuff going when I'm trying to sleep. But it's such a comfort movie, Pretty Woman. All right, so Vivian, Julia Roberts. Vivian is... I feel like Vivian is a... I was going to say Pisces because of the way but she was never into like addiction or anything like that. And she was really only being a prostitute out of, I guess, desperation, but being a smart businesswoman, really. Because I'm not saying like prostitution is smart business people, but I think, like strippers or people that are, using sex to like make money, sometimes they're good business people. Like they save that money. I have a friend who danced when she was younger, and she saved all the money and she bought apartments in Manhattan and just lives off that renting those apartments out. So that was smart of her. Very smart of her. And if I was a hot girl with a nice body, my ass, I would have been up there tiptoeing around, getting my dollars. I don't know if I would have been as smart as her and investing it in real estate, but I definitely would have been throwing my titties around. That's for sure. So Vivian, what is she? I think Vivian is, I'm going to say, and this is, you wouldn't expect this, but for some reason I just got hit with this. I think she's a Capricorn. I think Vivian is a Capricorn with Cancer moon. 100%. Oh my goodness. She is such a Cap because she is business. She makes a good deal. She knows, her worth. Like she said to Edward, to Richard Gere, she's like, I'm not just your prostitute, honey. Like, there's more to me than this. And it's like, girl, you are his prostitute. But she was like, no. Like she stood her ground. And she just got that big, beautiful hair, like that gorgeous hair. She had the legs and she just was, pretty, but like understated, like a Capricorn woman, like understated. She just was, and she was chill. She was cool. But that Cancer moon in her, the Cancer moon, that's where she gets that depth and that emotion, and also how she kind of closes up. Like she definitely closes up like a Cancer moon, but she works her business and she works her clientele like a Capricorn woman. She's chill. She's cool, calm, collected. And she was a loyal friend too to Kit. She went back, she gave Kit money. She was like, no, honey, you take this. Like, get yourself right. So she was she did not forget about Kit when she moved up. Like, Julia Roberts hit it big with Richard Gere, and she did not forget about Kit. She was like, honey, come get this money. Okay, so she was very generous, the way Capricorns are. But that Cancer moon in Vivian, 100% is in there. Definitely. Yeah, she definitely has. She might even have cancer. She's definitely big cancer placements, Vivian. And then Edward. Ooh, Richard Gere. Sexy. Oh, Madonna me. I mean, he is just, my mom always used to love Richard Gere when I was younger. So but I get it. Richard Gere's a hottie. Although I didn't really love that he has such a smooth chest. If you ever look at that, like if you look at Richard Gere back in the day, like he's really cute. He's gorgeous, like beautiful hair, beautiful face. But that chest, you got little nipples and smooth. I'm not into it. Check out Richard Gere's chest. Not my vibe, not real. I was a little disappointed by the upper body. And I'm not like a muscle queen. Like I don't need like a big juicy muscle guy. But I didn't really love this. It was very smooth with little nips. So it wasn't my vibe. But anyway, Edward to me, I feel like he's a Scorpio. Oh my goodness. He's such a Scorpio. Yes. He loves power. He indulges in prostitution, like he just such like a businessman. And the way he was too, like the way he like sat back when she was like about to give him a blowjob was so Scorpio businessman, like very like he looks at sex as like a bit like Scorpio men. They're just so like into sex that like, I feel like the way he did it was very Scorpio male, and like how private he was. Like he just was like, he didn't want to be telling everybody that she was a prostitute, although he told his friend, but that's because he was defending her because Stucky, Jason Alexander, because he was like saying that she was infiltrating. So he was like, no, motherfucker, she's a hooker. Like, so he only told him that because he was defending Vivian because Stucky was being a pig. But he's such a Scorpio, Edward. Oh my God. All silent and sexy about it. And then like how he has his fear of the balcony. He doesn't like the heights. Such a Scorpio man. Like they're all tough and strong, but they have these weird little like, I'm afraid of heights type shit. Such a Scorpio guy with his little issues. Oh my God. And that's the thing too. Like he got all into his business and his power because his dad sucked. He had daddy issues. That's such a Scorpio guy. Daddy issues, finding his power and strength in money and women. Oh my God, such a friggin' Scorpio guy. Remember he had the wife in the beginning, or the divorce he was getting into? Such a Scorpio man. He couldn't open up. Vivian helped him open up, just like a Capricorn Cancer moon. Stucky, that little greasy bastard, that little butterball. Stucky. What is he? Oh, let's see. He is, and I'm not saying like, when I say the sign that I pick for him, it's not all of this. It's just what I picture him as. Let's see. Stucky. What is he? For me, Stucky is such a... You know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say Stucky is a Leo. Now, hear me out. Because the reason why I'm going to say Stucky's a Leo is because, he's short, bald, fat, so he's angry. Leo men, they need to be like gorgeous and popular and vivacious, and they're very egotistical and they're very vain. So because he's a Leo and he's not all that, he's pissed, And then he's very loyal to Richard Gere. He's very loyal to Edward. He's like, I've been your lawyer for all these years. Like Leos are very loyal friends, but they're money driven. And then when he found out that Julia Roberts was a prostitute, the way he like pushed himself on her and was like a little rapey, it's a little Leo-ish. Like it's got that like Leo vibes, a little handsy Leo men. But he's a Leo guy when they're not fully attractive, like that's how Leo men can be when they're not hot or popular, they get a little nasty and jealous and possessive. Definitely. And then Kit. Oh, we love Kit. Kit DeLuca. Kit is like, I would think actually Kit is a Pisces. She's funny. She's, got her little jugs going. Very like pretty, like got her little makeup, and she's just cute. Like she's short and cute and got, she's a good friend. She loves her some Vivian. Like she's all about it. And she's ballsy too. Like that when she was at the front desk and she like looked over at the old couple and she was like, for 200, I'll do your husband or I'll do her and your husband can watch or something like that. Such a Pisces girl thing to say. They're so out of pocket sometimes, and they're so like sexually confident too, Pisces women. So Kit is definitely a Pisces. And like she just can't catch a break. Such a Pisces girl. And then last but not least, he wound up being like a fun little character and someone that we all kind of like loved. Barney, the guy, the hotel guy, the hotel concierge, the guy who like took care of Vivian and called and said he was Edward's cousin. Barney, I feel like Barney is he's a Taurus. He is a Taurus male, you know? Solid, loyal, he's got your back. You know, he's with it. You know, like he picked up what Vivian was serving, you know? He picked up what Vivian was putting out. He knew. He was like, all right, this isn't Edward's cousin. This is a prostitute, but I kind of like her. Like, that's such a Taurus thing to do. He'd be like, all right, you're not like the upper echelon of like society, but you're cool. And I think you're fabulous. And I know that underneath all of the leather boots and the very short skirt, I know that there's a really sweet girl in there. He saw through the bullshit. He saw through the crap, which is what Tauruses do. So Barney, yeah, and he was just like such a pleasant. And then at the end, when he said to Richard, he said the driver, took her to where he took her. He was like, the driver knows where she lives. Like he gave like that, like Tauruses are so like, I'm going to give you a little drop of wisdom without like shoving it down your throat. You do with it as you will. But he know where she's at. So I love Barney being a Taurus. So Taurus. But yeah, love Pretty Woman. What a freaking show. What a movie. What a good movie. And then the Roxette song at the end, must have been love. How does it start? Wait a whisper on my pillow. So good. Anyway. Well, this episode is brought to you by our sponsor, our lovely Christine Louisi at Collective Beauty Skincare Studio. We love her so much. We sell you every week. Go to the studio, get yourself a facial, get the eyebrows done. She hooks it up. She is a manicurist of the eyebrow. Edward Scissorhands, like I called her last time. Collective Beauty Skincare Studio, 25% off if you mention Crusty Crystals, if you're in the tri-state area. And if you know anyone who lives on Long Island and you want to give them a gift certificate, the holidays are coming up. Go to Collective Beauty Skincare Studio. You can text Christine, get a gift card. You don't have to go. Maybe you can go on the internet and get it, or you could just text her. All the information's in the bio. But get your friends a gift card, because I would never send you anywhere. I'm a Taurus. I'm never going to send you anywhere bad. This studio is such a charm. It is a charming place. The service is quality. The space is really cute. The parking is super easy. It's in Malvern. It's cute. So go to Collective Beauty Skincare Studio. Information is in the bio. All right, so we are up to our voice note. Our voice note today. Let's do it. Hit us up, Jay.
Hey, Thomas. Yeah, we're currently traveling in Turkey, myself and my wife. It's our 3rd year anniversary coming up for our wedding. She is a Cancer Sun, Capricorn Moon, and a Scorpio Rising. I'm a Cancer Sun, Sagittarius Moon, and a Leo Rising. We just been listening to your podcast during our trip and really like the Aladdin and Lion King horoscopes. Thanks.
Oh, well, I hope you like the Pretty Woman horoscope today, too. Well, isn't that funny how I love when this happens. I was just saying how Vivian was a Capricorn with Cancer Moon, and he just told us that his wife is a Cancer with Capricorn Moon. I'm living for that. That is so, I don't, like I said, I didn't listen to that before this and then put Vivian as that. I just love when that happens. So yeah, Vivian's a Capricorn with Cancer Moon, and his wife is a Cancer with Capricorn Moon. So I love when that happens. That's so energetically aligned, and I love that. Okay, so she is a Cancer Sun, Capricorn Moon. Scorpio rising. I don't know. There wasn't a question there, so I'm just gonna, I guess, analyze your compatibility. Such a little straight boy, right? They just give me the facts without the need for the question. So, and we love our boys that listen to us. So please keep listening. We love an enlightened straight boy. We love that. So freaking cute. Okay, so her sun is Cancer and her moon is Cap, rising Scorpio. Love that. Very balanced to me. And I love that your sun sign is Cancer because her Cancer and her rising Scorpio. And what's interesting is my sister and her husband, they're both Cancer sun. The two little nephews that I talk about a lot, they're both Cancer. So I think double Cancer parents, amazing. So if you're going to have, I don't know if you have children, but if you have children, you probably are amazing parents. If you don't have children, you probably should. But I would never tell anyone, especially women, that they should have children if they're not looking to have it. So if you don't want to have it, great. But as double Cancers, you would be great parents. So you should think about that. Moon in Capricorn, and then your moon is Sagittarius. Little fucker. The moon in Sag. We know how we feel about Sag boys, but at least it's only in his moon. And he's got the Cancer sun sign, which, you know, I love a Cancer boy. And the rising in Leo. Well, you're an exciting little sucker, aren't you? The little husband here. Yeah, we're going to talk about him for a second. You're a Cancer with Sag sun and Leo moon. That's interesting because Sages are such little bastards with like dirty mouths. And then they're Cancer, the Cancer sun and that Leo rising. Ooh, you need to be caged. You are so lucky you're not my husband because you would be on a short leash. That's right, little feisty little sucker. Because those Cancer boys, they're sensitive and sweet and little romancers. They're little mothers. I call Cancer men mommies. But he's got that Sag and Leo. Woo! You got that fire in you. I got to tell you, girl, thank God you have that rising in Scorpio because you could definitely handle this man. I'll tell you right now. And with your Capricorn moon, you put him in his place. That's for sure. But yeah, that Leo rising and the Scorpio rising, it's interesting because thank God you both have the sun in Cancer because her moon in Cap and your moon in Sag, very different energies. Her rising in Scorpio and your rising in Leo, very different energies. So the fact that you both have the Cancer sun, thank God for that. That's what I'm saying. But I think that with that Cap moon, the Sag moon, the rising signs, I think it's good that it's complete opposites because I think that's where your excitement comes from. I think the double Cancer, again, great parents, great home life, you know, like making, you know, coziness and love, although they could be a little bit mental sometimes. So that might not be the best for the kids, but as long as kids are raised with love and affection, that's all that matters to me. And I think that double Cancer parents can absolutely deliver that. But that Cap, Sag, Scorpio, Leo stuff, that's where the excitement comes from. But her Capricorn moon puts you in your little place, which you love. You love that. You love to be put in your place. And that's what she does for you. Because her rising Scorp and her moon in Cap, she don't play games. So your little Sag, Leo, little feisty boy stuff, it's no match for her. She could take that. She will corral your ass and put you where you need to be. And you love every minute of it. So I love that. And I think that I feel like you have spirituality in your lives, you know, because of the Cancer. I think that you have depth. Both of you have that depth and that connection to intuition. So I do feel like you both are you're both on a spiritual journey. Okay. I actually feel like your Sag moon is probably gives more philosophical, like most Sages that they say that they are that, but I think you're a good Sag boy because of that Leo and that Cancer. That makes you a little more sensitive, a little bit more in touch with your feelings. So I think that saves you with your Sag moon. But she likes it. From what I'm seeing here, the Capricorn, the Scorpio risings, she loves your little bad boy mouth. So I think you guys are a great mix. I think that you're both on a journey, and I feel like you both complement each other well. I think you both complement each other well, and she can handle your ass. And I think that is the main thing here. So message me. Tell me how that sounds. Tell me if it connects. Let me see if I connect. Let me see if I can get a psychic hit right now, or like what I'm feeling energetically about this. What do I feel about this? What do I hear? I just heard the word disruption. I feel like when I hear the disruption, this is what it is. I feel like you're both, and again, message me about this because I want to know if this really resonates. I think you're both supposed to disrupt each other's lives in a good way. I think that maybe you came into each other's lives and it was a little disruptive, but you're meant to disrupt each other's energy. It's almost like you'll understand what I'm saying as the sense of you disrupt each other, but it feels normal and natural. That's huge. That hits me hard. You disrupt each other, but it doesn't feel bad. It doesn't feel negative. It doesn't feel annoying. It feels normal and natural, as if your souls are saying, this is what we're here for with each other, the disruption. So message me about that. Tell me what you think. Thank you, guys. Send me voice notes. A lot of you listen, so send me a voice note and don't be shy. Don't worry about how you sound. You don't have to have the sun, rising, and moon. It's preferable to have it, and you can look up astrolab.com. You can get a free birth chart there. So it's very easy to get the big three. So message me one, but if you don't have the big three and you don't feel like doing all that, or you don't have the information for like a partner or a friend or a coworker that you're having a problem with, and you just have their sun sign, that's fine too. So message me. I love this segment. All right. So final thought. Well, my final thought is accept the life that you've been given. Accept the journey that you're on. So what? I'm never going to be a mother. I can still appreciate moms. I can appreciate the journey. Yes, there's times where I'm sad about it. And there's times that if I'm on like TikTok and I'm seeing all these like mom videos or like the giving birth videos, I love it. I enjoy it. I cry sometimes, and then there's a piece of me that just, I guess subconsciously I'll feel sad or be like, oh, I'm never, but because I don't ever consciously feel like I'm looking at it and going, oh, I'm never going to have this. I think subconsciously it kind of like affects me because I'm just kind of like, well, that's because I love it so much. I wish I was a person sometimes there are many people that really don't care if they're a parent or have a child. I'm not one of them. I've always been a very traditional person. I've always loved family and I've always loved that. So that's why knowing that I was gay was really a hard hit. It was hard. It was really hard for me to accept because with that life comes a whole lot of things that don't come with with a traditional life. I always wished I had a traditional life, but again, I'm not saying to the universe that I don't love my life because I'm I'm appreciative of the life I've been given. And there's a lot of people in this world that have way less or don't get to experience or have real traumas like, losing a limb or they just, lose their parents or, so there's other people with worse problems, but it's something that I've always kind of been bummed out about, that I don't get to be a mom. Or even a dad, shit. I would love to be a dad because I'm a boy, clearly. So I would love to be a dad, but I don't think it's going to happen in this life. So I have accepted it. So there's things that we have to accept. And then I would say, if you can be a parent, really think about it. And you're saying you don't want to be a parent. I would say, take my perspective as something that can help you with that decision, but not everyone's meant to be a parent. And when I'm doing readings, I see that sometimes. I'll see it in their energy. They're not meant to be a parent. A lot of times I'll see in their energy because I'll see the truth or I'll get the hits from spirit. I'll see that they're not being a parent out of fear. So I'll try to help them see that perspective because in their session, that's really all that matters is helping the person in front of me, live their highest truth. So, I can see if they're not meant to be a parent or if it's not something that is spiritually in their journey or if it's coming from fear or if it's coming from trauma. So I'm there to help them see that perspective for whatever the truth is in their journey. So I would say my final thought is just let's accept things that are part of our journey that we might not love. But let's never drive with fear. Let's never make decisions out of fear because that never works. But I know that the universe and God, or, my journey has brought me things to nurture and to love, so that I can experience it. And I'm here. I used to say to my mom, I think I'm here to give this love and information to the world. Maybe I'm here to be a mom to a lot of people rather than a mom to just, or a dad to just a little kid, Maybe I'm meant to be the mother to all of you. Who knows? That's in a very, Jay laughed. That's just in a metaphorical way. Clearly I'm not your mom. But you know what I mean? So I'm trying to, figure out if that's what I'm here for, to be that. Maybe I wasn't here to be a parent. If I was a parent to just my own kid, maybe I wouldn't have the energy or the voice to put out there to be, to give to all of you. Maybe that's why. I'm still trying to figure it out, just like the rest of us. So we'll see. We're all on this journey together. Anyway, love you all. And I've been getting a lot of feedback from people, like when I do readings or just, in message, that say they're watching the podcast and they're really loving it. So I love you guys so much. Thank you for, being with me and letting this resonate and letting my voice be a voice in your life. So love you guys. And we're going to see what the new segments are going to be. If you have ideas, reach out. All right. So follow us on all the socials, Thomas Dale 5. Crusty Crystals Pod. That's all on Instagram. TikTok is The Wanderers or Crusty Crystals Podcast. You could check out Jay's studio, Jay Belsky, with a Y, Jay Belsky with a Y, at Floored Media. Honestly, the studio is incredible. So if you're in Long Island, you want to do a podcast or need a photographer, hit up Jay because it's really great quality stuff. So easy to work with. Really cool guy and loyal. And we're here for you. Love you all. Bye.